Hello there, croeso and welcome. I'm Shadow Lummox and I am back on Hogwarts Legacy to redo a video I did about how to beat the Broom time trials and how to get the top times. Now, if you aren't interested in seeing the ins and outs and the hoops you need to jump through, the simple answer is that you need to get all the Broom upgrades, and once you have them all, you'll be able to get the top time in all 3 trials. But if you want to see all the steps that you have to go through to unlock these time trials and the upgrades that come with them, then the rest of the video will go through all the steps necessary, as you'll have to do certain side quests and unlock the story to a certain point to finally get access to all the time trials and all the Broom upgrades. And again, if you're not interested in seeing all these steps and you just want to see me do all 3 Broom time trials by beating the top time of the leaderboard, then head to about the 12-minute mark and you'll see me do all 3 of the Broom time trials using all 3 of the Broom upgrades. However, you can beat the individual time trials without necessarily getting all the Broom upgrades. You can beat the first time trial with the first Broom upgrade, the second time trial with the second Broom upgrade, and the final time trial you can only get the top time once you have all 3 of the Broom upgrades that you can get from Albie Weeks, who's the owner of the sporting goods store at Hogsmeade. Now, when you start the game, you don't actually have access to a broom, so you'll have to progress the story a bit until you get the quest Flying Class, which happens pretty early on in the game. This acts as a tutorial for how to fly, so once you've finished this particular quest, you will then be able to go to Albie Weeks store in Hogsmeade and purchase your first broom. This is a very straightforward story mission, and as I said, it acts as a tutorial about how to use the broom and the controls. Helps you get used to it as well. So when you're done with the main story mission, Flying Class, you'll be able to go straight to Hogsmeade and purchase your first broom. And you'll also have this side quest, Flight Test. And this is how you'll unlock the Broom time trials. So simply head over to Hogsmeade or fast travel there if you're a little lazy, and you'll be able to go into the sporting goods store and you'll start the quest chain to unlock the Broom upgrades and the time trials. So you just head into the store and it'll all start to trigger. You will need to purchase a broom and you'll also need to purchase the upgrades, but I'll go through the prices as we come across them. You talk to Albie Weeks here and he will allow you to purchase your first broom. These brooms, while they look different, there is nothing statistically different about any of them, so pick your favorite one or the one you think looks the best to start off this quest chain. Once you've done this, you'll actually then be able to buy special brooms or unlock special brooms through other vendors throughout the open world. But again, there's no real statistical difference. It's purely aesthetic, so just go with whichever one you prefer. And once you've purchased the broom, Albie here will mention that he's been wanting to construct some upgrades for the brooms. And he'll also mention that a certain student, Imelda Reyes, has set up some time trials. And he wants you to go do these time trials, beat Imelda's time, which is the first step of these quests, and then report back to him so he can then work on the upgrades. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get the upgrades straight away. You will need to do each race first head back to Hogsmeade to report your findings, and after a certain amount of time you will then be able to purchase the upgrades and unlock the next trial. But by the time you get to winter, you'll have all 3 time trials unlocked and all 3 upgrades. So once you have the quest from Albie, head over to the Quidditch pitch, and this is where you'll come across the first time trial. Speak to Imelda and she'll challenge you to a race against her best time, and it's fairly easy to beat. Just make sure you hit you got to go through the hoops. Make sure you hit these yellow bubbles because they'll refresh your boost and they'll allow you to keep your speed up as you do the whole course. To beat the first times that Imelda's times, sorry, you don't need to be perfect, you don't need to hit all the yellow bubbles, but if you do miss too many of them, you will significantly lose speed. So get used to the course by challenging Imelda's times, because when it comes time to challenge for the top time, you will have to do these courses as not perfect, but they are tougher than Imelda's times. As you'll see from this one, Imelda's time is there and just to the right of the center. 2 minutes 20 is what you have for the first part of this, and I don't want to say it's really easy to beat because I actually have quite a lot of experience of playing sim racing games and flight simulator and space simulator games from all the way back to the 1990s, so I'm quite used to flight controls. The key is just to be smooth, no big movements on the analog stick, and that'll allow you to take turns while keeping your speed. So once you've beaten Imelda's time, you then head back to the sporting goods store in Hogsmeade and report your findings to Albie Weeks, and then you will be able to access the actual race leaderboard. And as you can see, there is someone who is always at the top of the board just ahead of you, Ruby. You can try without the upgrades. The closest I got is 0.2 of a second away from Ruby's time, but no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't beat it without that first upgrade. So you won't be able to get it straight away. Play through the story until you get to the autumn or fall season, and you'll then be contacted by Albie Weeks to go and purchase the Broom upgrade, and you'll get that quest there, sweeping the competition. Once you head here, the first upgrade will be available to purchase. It does cost 1,000 gold, so either make sure you have it beforehand, or it's quite easy to get gold in this game, but the price of the upgrades does go up for each one. I believe the last one is 4,000 gold that you'll need. And then once you've got the first upgrade, he will then tell you about the second course that has been unlocked. As you can see, it's a bit further down here, just to the south, and you'll have the quest marker for it. So head on over and speak to Imelda, and again, it'll be the same as the first quest. You'll have to challenge her time, which is quite straightforward to beat. And again, once you've beaten it, you'll head back to Albie Weeks, let him know your findings, and he'll start working on his second upgrade. But then you'll be able to access the leaderboard, and as you can see, Ruby's time is just 1.5 seconds ahead of the time I set when I was beating Imelda's time. So again, continue the main story until you get to the winter season, and this is where you'll then finish unlocking all the time trials and all the upgrades. You'll get access to the second upgrade pretty much the moment you enter into the winter season. You get a message from Albie telling you that the second upgrade is ready to be purchased. Just head back to his store, purchase the second upgrade, and he will ask you to go and challenge the third course to test out this new upgrade. Said you could use that second upgrade to go beat the second time trial, but I've decided for the purpose of this video to show myself doing those 3 time trials with all 3 upgrades to show you what is potentially my best time. You do the third course, and again, it's pretty straightforward to beat Imelda's time. She has a lot of big talk, but she really isn't that hard to beat. And again, you can see Ruby's time just about a second, just over a second ahead of mine. Once you've reported back to Albie Weeks, he'll pretty much give you the third upgrade straight away. You see there it was 7,500 gold for that final upgrade. And once you have all 3 upgrades, you will now be able to beat the top time in all 3 time trials. And what you'll see next is me getting the top time, beating Ruby's time, and how I did it. So I'm not going to talk over this because, as I said, it's not really a huge amount of advice I can give other than to hold L2 for the speed boost. Make sure you get as many of these orange or yellow bubbles as you can to keep your boost up, and just be as smooth as you can on the analog stick. Don't want to be making too many big quick turns because you'll lose a lot of speed. You want to be as smooth as you can. Find a control system that works for you. I personally use inverted flight controls, but not everybody gets along with them, so stick with what's comfortable for you. And with practicing the course, you'll eventually be able to get all 3 of the times. But once you have all 3 of the upgrades, the first few courses are fairly straightforward. It's only the third course that could prove problematic. So I'll leave you now with the rest of the courses, showing you how I beat the top times. I hope this video was useful and the information in it has helped you. I just want to say diolch and thank you for watching.
Made it. I wonder if I'm safe. Brilliant. Now that's more like it. I'd say that was acceptable. Brilliant. Ha! Good. I've got this. That wasn't too difficult. Brilliant. Made it. Excellent. Brilliant flying, if I do say so myself. Ha-ha! Now that's more like it! That wasn't too difficult. Brilliant. That wasn't too bad.